share this out. All right, give it a second to get connect to Facebook. The heck's the delay tonight? There we go. Welcome to Paranormal, the New Normal. My guest tonight, I am very excited to have. My guest is Wynn, and she has a bunch of stories that I am dying to hear from what she's told me already. And she didn't really give me details even, so I am dying to hear them just based on the broad spectrum she told me. So, Wynn, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing perfectly fine. If you guys can't hear me, that's because I'm in a hotel room in Aspen, Colorado. And one of my paranormal stories happened here, actually. So it's ironic that I am back here recording this podcast. And it's ironic that I'm about to share this story.
Well, we're lucky to have you, and if your audio goes out a little bit, no big deal. But right now, you sound fine. So, why don't you start by telling us about your near death experience? Because that's what I'm dying to hear about. Because
Okay, my near death experience. Well, I thought you wanted to hear about the ghosts first, but I'll start with the near death experience. My near death experience happened June 14th, 2006. I have a physical disability called cerebral palsy. You guys can look it up or listen to my other work to figure out how cerebral palsy affects my life. But in this case, my near death experience was when my spine went dead for 20 minutes on the operating table. They also gave me propofol infusion syndrome, which means your blood turns acidic. But the scariest part was me being paralyzed for 20 minutes. And I actually saw angels and had a nice conversation with a higher power. And I'll just leave it at that because I don't know your religious standpoint. I don't know anyone's religious standpoint who's listening to this podcast. Well, anyway, the higher power said, I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back from where you were coming, where you were coming from. I will put you in a on a walker, which is true. I have been on a walker since then. But the funny thing is that through that conversation, I became gay. I was gay starting at the age of 6. I didn't tell anyone because they were more concerned about my cerebral palsy than they were about me being gay. And so in 2006, during that operation, I reopened up the doors to me being gay.
interesting. And when you say you saw a higher power, and I mean, I personally myself am agnostic, so I'm open to all possibilities of what's out there. But I understand you not wanting to give it a name because of other people may not believe the same thing. But could you see the higher power, or did you just hear a voice?
I just, I could see it, but I could I could see it, but only for 2 minutes, and I I could definitely hear a voice.
Did
I
I'm get what did the voice sound like? Was it a powerful masculine almost voice, or was it different?
it it was what you would think it was. It was actually a powerful voice saying, "I will bring you back to the planet. You're not I'm not done with you yet, basically, and I will bring you back to the planet. But how you come back to the planet will be completely different. One, you will be on a walker. Two, you will have to open up and accept that you're gay, which I already accepted at the age of 6. But then I was fully transformed on June 15th, knowing that I was gay and knowing that I was going to be on a walker for the rest of my life.
Yeah, which I mean, that's well, having to be on a walker the rest of your life is devastating enough, but to have to reveal your truth out there that you hid for so long, that must have been very devastating. Like, I mean,
Uh,
well, maybe not devastating, but very conflicting. That's a better word for it.
the being on a walker is more devastating than revealing my truths. I actually didn't reveal my truths until after my father died because he was so homophobic that I thought it was going to be curtains if I told him. So I actually didn't come out of the closet, as they say, until after my dad died.
Yeah, which I don't blame you. I mean, I've heard of a lot of people doing that because their parents are so against it because they're old minded back to the from the
Yeah,
old ways that the whole world used to be about that. But which it's a horrible thing. It was a horrible thing, but I think the world's slowly getting better and better. But who knows with the way the government works nowadays, what's going to happen?
yeah.
But so after you came back to life 20 minutes later, did were you ever able to hear the higher power voice again or communicate with it in any way?
I woke up to on June 15th and said, what hospital is this? Why am I here? And I remember them telling me later on that when you were young enough not to say that, that's old people's syndrome. That's not you. You were only 17, yeah, 16 when that happened, and you're not supposed to say that. So I don't know whether the higher power asked me to say that or whether I was on so many pain pills after that, so many pain drugs slash morphine after that. I think I was on pain drugs. I think it was the pain drugs more talking than a higher power.
Yeah, I could see that possibly. I mean, so the higher power hasn't spoken to you since.
The higher power has spoken to me. Well, he's spoken to me a lot more recently, through telepathic conversations with both my mother and my father. My mother primarily, my father sometimes shows up, but um, my mother primarily, and this started happening this last year. My mom's been gone for 12 years, but this started happening conversations, full on conversations with my mom in my dreams, and full on conversations with other people in the room too, and that only started happening this actually it started happening in 2010, and then it happened more frequently once I began to make big moves, like selling my house and moving, doing a two-state move by myself to Arizona.
That's yeah. I mean, that's a big move for anybody, let alone someone that's walking with a walker. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean that's a lot. That's stressful as could be. But so I could
yeah,
see that. I could see why that would be a time for communication to happen though, because
yeah,
it likes to happen a lot when we're stressed out or when we're really worried about something.
yeah, yeah.
So since well, you said you're in a hotel in Aspen and that you actually have a ghost living with you, something you told me off
I
camera. But
no, I actually have a ghost. I used to work with a ghost. Believe it or not, I had a job up here for 13 years before I left permanently, and I used to work with a ghost.
what did that
And
go?
Even though I never saw that ghost, apparently it haunted where I used to work.
Interesting. What were the how was it known that it was haunted? Like,
It
did the go?
la- it landed up in the bathroom. It landed up in the cafeteria. It just things would move, and I never had the chance to see it. I know it was there because people told me about it, but I never had the chance to actually work with the ghosts. Actually, it's one of the things I miss because people actually told me about this ghost, and I never had the chance to work with the actual ghost.
Well, I mean, I can't say I'd want to work with a ghost per se, but
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 but I have had stuff when I was selling my house. I actually had spirits move stuff around my house. So yeah, that was interesting. Living with a ghost, and that was interesting. I actually think that one was the spirit of my dad trying to mess things up. We landed up selling the house, but I actually think the first day we were selling the house that he was trying not to he was trying to protect the house as long as he could.
makes sense. I mean, spirits are in a house, and then once they get used to the people that are living there, and if they like the people that are living there, they tend to not want those people to leave because they don't want to
Yeah.
deal with someone. They don't want to deal.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
it's like
Exactly.
it's like having a neighbor and you find out they're moving out and you like that neighbor and you're like, oh, I don't want you to move out. I don't know who's gonna move in now. It could be
Yeah,
some weird person, but
exactly.
so I mean, did the spirits around your house like you said they move things around, but did they ever show themselves to you?
They they have I knew it was my dad, but he never showed himself to me, but I knew it was my dad because of the stuff he moved.
Like certain books your dad loved or certain things like that?
Like, let's just say he moved a pair of curtains that he did not like. And let's just say we were trying to show my house when that happened. So I think he just decided to move the curtains, and we could not get them up. Back up. All three of us could not get them back up.
Wow, that's just I mean, it's not as bad as it could be with the things spirits have done in other houses, but it's definitely still creepy in a way. I mean,
Well,
I would
yeah, sleeping in the way that the curtains literally fall off the curtain blood the day we're trying to sell that. The day we have our first showing, I don't think so. And these curtains had never moved in life since falls off the wall.
yeah, and which I mean, because I actually have spirits in my house. The couple that built the house still live here, and like the other night at 2 in the morning, my wife was like, "There's one standing in the doorway right there. I don't know which one it is, but one of them's in that doorway right there." And I'm like, and we were both, and I mean, we were both having a couple drinks, so I was just like, "Yeah, okay, whatever you say." And I walked through that doorway, and I got the coldest chill of my life. Like the AC's on the house, but and also the whole house is pretty cool. But I walked through that door, it's like walking into a freezer. It's like, oh my god, like okay, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. But
Yep.
please, please don't follow me to bed and watch me sleep. But
Yep. Yep.
because I mean, that's when I get feelings in my house is when I'm in bed, laying in bed, like trying to fall asleep, and all of a sudden I see something go past the doorway on my peripheral without my glasses on, and I'm like,
Yep.
what was that? I'm not going to sleep now. But so, did the ghost follow you to your new place or no?
Uh, the ghost has checked it out. The ghost has checked it out. He knows he the ghost knows I'm in Arizona. He My father knows I'm in Arizona. his spirit has checked it out, and I've actually talked to him in the walls. I said, "Dude, you gotta close the door because on a winter day when it's not windy, my door will open." And I'm like, "Dude, you gotta close the door because we can't have this. The door goes directly outside." So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, this ghost knows I'm in Arizona. Yes, I brought pictures of him down, and yes, I brought his one of his precious belongings down with me. So I don't know if he approves me living in Arizona or not, because I kind of stole one of his precious belongings off his wall. But that's okay. If he doesn't want it down there, it will move on its own.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And which that I mean, so I'm guessing that means that maybe it most likely might be your father then, because the spirit's not connected to the house. Apparently, it's connected to you,
Yeah.
which
No.
does does
No.
happen.
It it does happen, and I know I have intense conversations with my mom. Not so much my dad. Not It's not so much my dad. My dad could do things inside the house, and I would know about it. But he and I are not having conversations in the dreams.
Well, like you said earlier, you didn't come out till after he died because you knew he wouldn't approve of it. So do you think that's related in some way?
Yeah, I do. I do. I actually do because um, he he wouldn't approve of it. So I didn't come out. So he doesn't know I'm gay, um which was my own thing. And he actually asked me once, "Are you gay?" And I said no, because I know your conversations behind the scenes. But he and I still had a fairly strong relationship. I had a strong relationship, and I still do, with my biological mom. And it's, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean that's good. I mean at least his spirit isn't trying to take it out on you or something because of it. But
No, 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 no. My,
but that but then again, if he's in the afterlife, maybe the higher power told him like you have to accept this or you're not going to ever move on.
yeah, well, yeah, well, I don't think he would have accepted that his only daughter was gay.
Yeah, I mean a lot of old school parents can't do that, and I I don't feel the same way, but I definitely could accept my kids if they did that one day, but I don't. I see where they're coming from though, because in the old world view, that was just the way it was, and
And it's interesting, the person that he almost married, my dad almost remarried, didn't necessarily, she wasn't homophobic. She still isn't. And
that's
when I told her that I'm gay, she goes, "I love you no matter what."
good. Well, that's good. I mean, that's the way it should be at least. But
So, yeah.
so, any other interesting stories with any of these spirits you've been around?
Oh, God. Um, the spirits, I'll probably have more conversations with my mom later when I get home, because of things have been shifting while I've been on vacation, in a good way, not a bad way. But I know she's watching everything that's going on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what spirits are supposed to do. Technically, is
Yeah,
watch people they love. But
yeah,
if they're stuck in this plane still, at least. Or I don't know
yeah.
how it works. I don't know how it works up there or down there or wherever they go. I don't know how it works there.
Up,
They might.
down, sideways, I don't know.
Well,
I,
with extra dimensional travel, sideways is possible. But
yeah, up, down, sideways, I don't know.
so Any other experiences you want to talk about?
Um, I want, and a lot of people don't know this. They know I had um several surgeries over the years, and I'm going to mention a medical term here called a hip spica, which means the cast goes up to your hips, and there's a bond between your legs. And you're not supposed to do this, so don't follow my advice there. But I remember walking in a hip spiker. I don't know what spirit made me do that, walking because I needed help, and my dad was still alive at the time, and then I fell over because you can't necessarily walk in a hip spiker. But I don't know why I did that, why I landed up getting up in a cast, hard cast, mind you, and walking almost to the next room.
Huh. That's
So I've been thinking that someone was trying to either test my agility or I desperately needed help, so I thought I would be independent.
yeah. I mean, walking in a hard body cast. That seems almost
Walking
impossible.
in a hard body cast.
That seems almost impossible. That seems like it's something that you have to have some kind of energy in you that's not natural
Yep,
to do that.
yep. And I probably had some. I like to be independent, and I fight back when people don't allow me to have my independence.
Of course,
So, yeah.
which that's a very respectable trait for sure. So, so with all this spirits talking to you, a lot of people that have spirits talk to them also have what we call heavenly beings or angels talk to them as well. Have you had that happen?
I have had that happen. I have had spirits talk to me. I've had angels talk to me. I've had it all.
Do they ever tell you anything like important, like for the future, like things you need to do, or like,
They they have They have, and they have. It's been really interesting. It's been a really interesting week because, believe it or not, they have told me stuff that I now need to when I get home, and it's like really interesting because they seem to be watching all this chaos, and um, they seem to say stand up for your rights with one individual in your life and say stop because she is as strong as I am personality wise, and yet she doesn't seem to want to get out of my life.
yeah, which do
And the spirits are telling me, you need to kick her out. You need to kick her out. I've told people that I want to kick her out, and the spirits have been telling me that. And she's like, no, I want to do my job. I want to stick around. You keep fighting me. I'm like, well, if you don't treat me as if I have a brain, then I'll keep fighting.
yeah, which I mean that's only right. It's only right that they treat you that way because I
And
mean,
yeah, as if she wants to treat me as if I have CP and that's it. Not treat me as a equal. I am, I could be her older sister. I could be this person's older sister. And yet she wants to treat me as, yeah, and I fight her, which the spirits, to get back to the spirits keep telling me, get her out of your life. You do better on your own. living on your own.
Of course, of course.
And she just doesn't want to. She will say, I'll help you through a transition. I'll say, I'll be nice to you, but please just get out of my life. And
Yeah.
that's what the spirits keep telling me. And it's going to be interesting in the next couple of weeks here whether she finally gets the message and she goes, I hate religious people. She told me that day one, and I'm like, that's gonna be a hard one because that's gonna be a hard one. You, even though I don't mention my religion, I'm still religious, and I still believe in angels and spirits, and
Yeah, which I mean, even as an agnostic, I never would put someone else's religion down or say I don't want to talk about religion.
yeah,
I love talking about religion because I'm trying to, uh, being agnostic, I'm trying to find my path like the way it should be, and it's hard. It's like I hear so many different stories on my show that I got my head like in five different directions right now, trying to pick which way I think is the right way. But
yeah,
to each their own. That's my opinion on religion. To each
to
their
each
own.
their own. Yeah,
Which so if you believe in angels, I'm pretty sure you believe in demons then as well.
yeah, I do. I should be better judge of character than I do. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but if you push me, I push back. So if I see a demon in you, I push back to protect myself.
As you should. As you should. I mean, everybody knows that demons, if they do exist, because I mean, I'm sure that some evil entity exists out there. Demons are just the name we give to them, but I if they are not meant to be around people for good reasons normally. I'm sure there's
No,
exceptions. I'm sure there's exceptions, but they're normally not meant to be around people for good. And it's good to keep them. It's better to keep them away if you can. But I've faced plenty of demons in my time, so yeah, they're everywhere. So any any other interesting stories you might want to talk about, or
not not that I can think of. Not
oh,
that I can think of.
okay, well, let me ask you this actually. Then before we go, do you do you believe in things such as Bigfoot by chance? If you believe in angels and demons,
No, I do not believe in Bigfoot. I do not believe in aliens landing in New Mexico. I do not believe in that. I just believe in the angels and demons and spirits.
you know there are a lot of people that think that aliens are just angels, or vice versa,
I do know that.
and you don't think that's a possibility.
I don't think that's a possibility.
Huh.
I don't
Okay.
think that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure that aliens are angels or angels are aliens or either one of those is. I'm not sure how I feel about either of those. I mean, I personally think they're two separate entities. Like, I think angels are more earth bound to a degree, and I think that aliens are their own entities from other planets, possibly, or other dimensions. But that's just my personal belief. Everybody has different beliefs. That's why the paranormal world is a great world because there's so many different people out there and they believe so many different things. But well, I thank you, Win, for coming on the show. It's been great to hear your story.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And I wanted to share my public. People know that I had a conversation with God. They may not God and the angels. They may not remember it. I mentioned publicly a long time ago. So I wanted to share that with your audience.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure my audience will as well. So, it where can people find you if they want to get you on their podcast to tell your story some more?
People can find me at askwin.weebelieve.com, or they can just Google my name, Win WIN Charles CHARLES. I'm everywhere. And they can just follow me on Facebook too. And I'm everywhere.
All right. Well, you heard that, podcasters. If you want to find her, that's where you can go. And as all my listeners know, check out Paranormal the New Normal Facebook group, and you'll see everything I do podcast wise. Or you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram as Juggalo Bastard. So I will thank you once again, Win, for coming on, and I think we'll bid the audience farewell for tonight. I'll catch my audience next time.